This episode of the ZuLoo Poodcast is sponsored by ZuLoo Inc., a benefit corporation dedicated to the goal of universal access to toilets, hygiene, clean water and sanitation through the power of social enterprise. Learn more at ZuLoo.com.
The number 2 place where falls occur at home is on the toilet. I see so many people falling, and I've fallen off the toilet too. I tell people just as readily, I'm in my 30s. No, I was not drunk, but I was sick and I've fallen off the toilet too. So yeah, there are just things that happen in life. You can't predict it. And you just have to be as prepared as you can to help minimize what's to come.
Welcome to the ZuLoo Poodcast, where we talk all things poop, toilets, and sanitation. Through insightful news, impact stories, and quirky humour, we aim to discuss and highlight the critical role toilets play in whisking poop out of our lives, the impact toilets have, or lack thereof, in the health and wellness of humanity, and what ZuLoo is doing to help solve the current global sanitation crisis.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the ZuLoo Poodcast. We're excited to have you on for another episode. Quinn's got his super fun wave, but he discovered a really cool thing that we have to show all of you. So,
because we know you guys want these.
This is even more encouragement for you to send us your email, send us your friend's email to get a free, what do we call these?
Poop.
It's I called it a stress toy the other day, but you guys thought that was weird.
Because you can squeeze it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress reliever.
Stressy. Yeah.
Bowel reliever.
Quinn, take it away.
A bathroom toy.
Check this out.
Is that what I called them?
You don't just have to squeeze it when you're stressed. You can spin it.
Woo, that was good first try.
Now we can do it better. No.
Yep.
Anyways, you can spin.
We did not know it did this.
It adds more value. So
yep.
Can you spin a toilet?
Ooh. Got excited.
Okay. Probably not. I don't know.
Like, how would you do it? Would you do it on like the corner?
That would be
couldn't
super
do
tight.
it because it's too. It's not even force.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep practicing.
We're not physicists, obviously, but Quinn did a cool trick, so we wanted to show you that.
But you can choose, if you send us your email, you can choose between a toilet or a poop emoji.
Both are fantastic.
One spins, one
you can put in your dollhouse. The other you maybe wouldn't want to.
Which one? You putting this in the dollhouse?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is what we call podcasting.
Yeah. Okay, but fun aside, Darren and I had an awesome opportunity to talk to Maria Lindberg, who is an occupational therapist. And it was just a joy to chat with her. So you'll listen to her interview today. She creates a lot of fun content about helping her clients use the bathroom, which is just not something that I really ever gave a lot of thought to, but that's her whole world as an occupational therapist.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I found 2 news articles that correlate with what she does.
Cool.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And it has to do a little bit with, we talked about Russia last time. Mm-hmm. Your brother survived it, right? Russia's in the news for
what?
Nefarious reasons. But this news article looks pretty legit. It's Fox News, so it's got to be correct.
Bulletproof.
It says supposedly Russian President Vladimir Putin carries a suitcase when he travels outside the country to other countries. Mm-hmm. Carries a suitcase filled with his own excrement and urine for fear that it might reveal too much information about his health should it fall into the wrong hands, according to reports.
So
who's the source on that?
Fox News, Tucker Carlson.
Former DIA intelligence officer, kind of murky.
Wouldn't that be stinky?
Is he pooping into a suitcase?
Whose job is it to transfer that if he's not just directly? I'm poor.
This is Rebecca Koffler, president of Doctrine and Strategy Consulting, a former DIA intelligence officer. And this is also the Moscow Times reveals he has special aid from the Federal Guard Service who handles the suitcase, which contains his fecal matter and urine collected during his trips, and returns it to Moscow. That would be a bad job to have.
Mildly disturbed.
What if you dropped it, or what if it got mixed up with other luggage, or what if does he have probably a handcuffs to the?
It's like
briefcase?
the nuclear football. I don't know if this is real, but it's more fun to believe it is.
But we need your opinion, listeners. Is this real? Is this fake news?
It says there's much speculation about Putin having a terminal illness, and and obviously, if you could get a hold of his fecal matter or urine, you would be able to run tests on it and see exactly what's going on.
Inside
in his system,
and then they help.
So, yeah, it's like super top secret. And Putin is a former KGB spy, so he's been probably like, I'm not going to have anybody, run tests on my poop to find out what's going on. So very.
Wow.
Can you imagine the guy though trying to track it down? They're like, all right, he's in the bathroom. He's in the bathroom. All right, run to the pipes. And they're like they just like sprint over there and they're like cracking open the pipe. I'm like, grab it. I'm like, I don't even understand that.
Where was Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs?
That's what I was thinking.
Right? Like he needed to be
Putin poop handler.
Putin poop handler.
You got to grab it.
So anyway, if you have any intelligence on this out there, let us know. Also, the second article, probably a little more mainstream. This one is related to how to adapt the bathroom for elderly people or people with reduced mobility, which is what Maria does, and she's going to talk about that. They say when you're dealing with someone who is either elderly or mobile restricted, usually it's, and she has some great points as far as like putting, grab bars either on the side of the toilet or, so you can pull yourself up, but also to elevate the toilet 45 to 50 centimeters above the floor. So they're not having to squat down as far. Mm-hmm. And also to use touchless buttons like a bidet or anything like that so they can clean themselves easier. And I think she gets into that.
Yep. I'm just wondering, is your parents' toilet the way that it is for one of these reasons? Do you think? Don't your parents have a weird toilet? I feel like we've talked about that on the podcast.
Oh, they have a wooden seat, don't they? Did you have a wooden seat?
No,
that's my grandpa.
Yeah.
That's my grandpa.
Yeah, but you had one where it was like very, there was something going on with it.
It's like higher up. I think it's higher, so it wouldn't be as easy to reach as mobility wise, but it's also kind of at an angle.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting at this weird angle. So
does it
I think
sit
it's
back
less
back at a weird angle, or just sit, sit forward?
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't like it. It digs into my legs because it's like at this this angle. So I don't think it's good for people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, it would be harder to use.
Be bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're waiting on a photo of that, by the way. So you're gonna have to
using it.
No.
All right. Okay. I'll just take it with my wife. Send it to him. Like, this is what Kelsey wanted. And but yeah, no. I'll get a photo.
Yeah.
I'll get a photo and send you guys.
I would I'm just so curious. Anyway,
you can just come to my parents' house.
I could just come to your parents' house.
Just approach. I'll give you the garage code. Just walk in and just like, no, I'm just here for this.
No questions. Can't take any questions right now.
But we'll share this in the show notes. This other article, but this just goes into different ways. Different tips you could use if you happen to have an elderly person in your home. The keys are accessibility, clear barrier-free path, and make sure that floor is non-slip. Right.
Yeah.
So there's just some interesting tips. Has nothing to do with the Putin article, but I just thought
But it's helpful, and that's the thing.
Actually, fascinating. Kind of does connect because elderly you know,
he is an older guy.
Want to make sure that, you know, they're safe.
How old is Putin?
It was like 70s, right?
Okay, that's.
I was actually thinking that that's what the article was going to be about, that he in this suitcase carried around some sort of like, you know, one of those portable toilet like handle things that you would just
like
set
a
up.
collapsible.
Yeah, like a collapsible one that he sets up at every toilet to help himself up. That's what I was thinking.
And then,
but that story turned into something way better.
It had
than
something
was in
totally different inside there.
Never heard of that in my entire life, but I'm so happy I know about it.
I'm just wondering the width of the suitcase. I mean, if it expands, you know, they have the expandable kind.
I mean, if it was,
or is it a soft case?
How often do they empty it?
I mean, if it was,
well, they got to take it back with them to Moscow. They can't just leave it.
And it's,
you know,
it has to be carry on, so no one messes with it going underneath the plane.
Oh, we got, the producer says 69 years old, so that's not elderly.
69. Well,
is 69 elderly?
No.
I don't think so.
It's definitely getting close. It's getting.
I think once you get
on the edge,
like mid 70s, that's when I maybe call you elderly.
I mean, he still like swims in rivers and rides, you know, horseback, you know, without a saddle.
Well, I don't know how much.
Shoots guns. I mean, he's not, you know, sick, but I can understand he's a little.
Well, apparently he had an operation recently, and but I was thinking about if I was like a Putin, I needed the poo handler man.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they'd need like Mary Poppins like bag. That like is ever expanding.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I mean, depending on what country we go to,
maybe there's short trips because, you know, I mean, how that like get heavy.
It gets so heavy. I'm just thinking of emptying my daughter's diaper pail, and it just surprises me every time I have to empty it how heavy it is.
And you wonder if it's like airtight, you know.
I hope so.
Oh, vacuum
otherwise
sealed.
It's sort of like, it's in the back of the plane. Ooh, man.
It's gonna be stinky.
It's in a duffel bag.
You gotta. I just have
also,
so much pity for the person whose job it is.
He must get a big medal, you know, for I'm holding this suitcase. Because it's like national security. It's like I've got the codes to the nuclear option.
He's the person that needs to be, you know, like whittled down and targeted for like, you need to help us, you know, because he's got the closest access.
That guy deserves.
How much would
that guy deserves one of those?
Yeah, how much? Yeah, if you could obtain the suitcase, we'll send you one of these, not two, just one.
Just one.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, deliver it. We'll send you the address.
Biden has
send it to Quinn's house.
A State of the Union, and he's like, "We've secured the poop. we have got the poop at the Pentagon." And turns out, Putin doesn't like dairy.
You know, though, if the CIA got a hold of that, what they would be immediately and running the tests.
They all come out with spoons.
Yeah, they're all like, magnifying glass. What? Oh, wait, cheeseburger. What else is in here?
Oh my gosh, he went to the McDonald's at the Black Arches, and we can tell.
Turns out he loves kimchi. Wow.
Yeah, some kui comes out. Oh.
Oh man. Well, Putin aside, Maria does have a lot of amazing tips. There was so much in her interview that I just didn't even consider before. She's really the first occupational therapist I'd ever sat down and chatted with about what her day-to-day looks like. So excited for you guys to hear. Hope you enjoy. Here is Maria's chat.
Maria, welcome to the show. Welcome to the ZuLoo Poodcast. We are really thrilled to have you on today. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, we were just chatting about your amazing background, bathroom space, and like this is where you film all of your amazing content.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I got my bathroom set in the basement, and I love being able to change it up, show different people different products they could put in their bathrooms so they could do what they need and want to do much easier.
Oh, love it. Well, I'm going to read your bio real quick for our listeners so that they know a little bit more about who you are and what it is you do. And then I'll jump in. I'm really excited to learn more from you today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for our listeners, Maria Lindberg, MOTECHM, OTRL, is an occupational therapist who specializes in helping people clean their bottoms after using the toilet. She created a course, Hard Time Wiping. Let's talk a booty it. That shares toilet techniques and 4 options to clean your bottom easier. Maria also hosts Toilet Talk, the show that loves pretty potties and hates ugly medical equipment, on Instagram Live and on YouTube. So we'll link to all of that goodness in our show notes. But that's amazing. We were just watching a little bit of your content. I know I was on YouTube, and I'm curious just right off the bat to know a little bit more about how you got started with Toilet Talk and the show, all about that goodness that you do. Can you tell us a little bit more about your show and how you got started?
Yes, absolutely. So it's been kind of a wandering journey. I'll go ahead and start when I was younger. I was around 19. I was a caregiver for my grandparents. And I didn't realize I was a caregiver at the time because I was changing light bulbs, taking out trash, those kinds of things. But as the years went on through my 20s and 30s until they passed, I became more involved in their care. And along the way, I found occupational therapy, and I became more interested in becoming one. So occupational therapists, we help people get back to doing daily activities that occupy their time, like going to the bathroom, getting dressed, anything you need and want to do at home and in the community. And so helping my grandparents, my grandmother was very specific. She said, I do not want to live in a nursing home. And she's said that multiple times. So my family and I, it was our, we wanted to support them in that wish, my grandparents, to live at home and not in a nursing home. So as a caregiver, and I went through school, became a professional. I actually my career is working in nursing homes and helping people be more independent, taking care of themselves. And I came across this woman who obviously for HIPAA purposes, can't say her name, but I like to call her Linda, where she had a knee replacement surgery gone wrong. Like everything that could possibly go wrong in the hospital happened, where she got an infection in her knee. She was on antibiotics that she turned out she was allergic to. So she had to have a longer hospital stay. And by the time I saw her, she was in more pain. She was really weak from not being able to move. And she was in her 50s, very young. So working with her, I took her to the bathroom, excuse me. And she went to the bathroom. And for people, I, say, go ahead and try and clean yourself up on your own after you go to the bathroom. So she really, really tried. She tried to clean herself up. And she turned to me and she started to cry, and she, very lighthearted, but she started to cry and she said, I am so sorry. I need for you to do this. I don't want you to, but I really need your help. And I've had a lot of experiences like that with different people for different reasons, who they not being able to clean themselves up after going to the bathroom was such an emotional thing. It's not just the physical pain, but also there are people who think, oh, I'm too weak. I'm overweight. I'm in too much pain. Whatever the reason is, they think I'm not going to be able to do this on my own and take care of myself. And being an occupational therapist, I specialize in home modifications, which is making changes to the bathroom. So I created my course, Hard Time Wiping, Let's Talk About It, with that caregiving and that professional experience, but also to show people you can't, no matter what is going on with your body or your life or your abilities, you can clean yourself up more independently. It may look different from person to person, which is fine. We all have different needs. But you can set up your bathroom and you can use different kinds of equipment so that you can actually take care of yourself and get that dignity back. Because I'm sure Kelsey and Darren, you are the experts on your own bodies, and you know the right kind of pressure to clean your bottom. You know what you like, if something's too hot or too cold, all those things about yourself. And when you're a caregiver helping somebody, it's so hard to guess that. So I started off with my course, Hard Time Wiping, Let's Talk About It. And then I was like, you know what? let me just go ahead and share my knowledge, little tidbits on Instagram, which is such a fun platform for me, and be hard time wiping on Instagram and go from there. So that was basically my journey to where I am today.
Wow.
That's
and
awesome.
What a journey.
Thank you.
I appreciate occupational therapy so much because I actually think it's a very underappreciated field. There's so much that you do. Yeah, there's so much important work that you do. And you are meeting people in these really delicate, sensitive times in their life. I mean, and the bathroom is the most private space, right? It's the space that none of us want to talk about, we feel shame about. And Darren and I hope that we can help to eliminate a little bit of that stigma, right? We can talk about these things, and whether it's, in a really sensitive light, because there's so many issues surrounding sanitation, or whether we can add a little bit of humor in it to make it a little bit more approachable. So I think that's amazing that your background really facilitated you being where you are now and helping people in that space, also destigmatizing the bathroom and what we do, and that it's okay to have help or arrange your bathroom in a certain way to make that easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for acknowledging and appreciating my profession. And yeah, it is such an awkward topic. And I will, when I still work PRN in a hospital, and even just approaching the topic for every single person I see, I always ask directly, are you having a hard time cleaning your bottom? So a lot of people say no, but I will tell you, I know people are having a hard time, whether they tell me yes or no, because there are some things that they do. If they're having any problems with their lower body clothing, like pants, underwear, like pulling it up or down, if they have some kind of incontinence, like urinary or bowel incontinence, there's some warning signs that I see where I'm like, I'm pretty sure you do, but you don't feel comfortable talking to me about it. Plus, the number 2 place where falls occur at home is on the toilet. I see so many people falling, and I've fallen off the toilet too. I tell people just as readily, I'm in my 30s. No, I was not drunk, but I was sick and I fallen off the toilet too. So yeah, there are just things that happen in life. You can't predict it. And you just have to be as prepared as you can to help minimize what's to come.
Yeah, you mentioned dignity. My in-laws, or my father-in-law, suffered from a stroke, and ever since then, he's not been able to go to the bathroom by himself. And that's something that is my mother-in-law takes care of him, and that's something that it's like a ton of work, because she. I mean, how many times does he have to go to the bathroom every day? Can't do it, whether it's number 1, number 2, right? And I got a kind of a glimpse into that because I went to go visit one time, and she was something was going on in the kitchen, and she was like, "Hey, can you go check on, your father-in-law in the bathroom?" And I'm like, "I don't think he wants me in there." And so, and he's like, "No, you need to go right now." So I go in there, and he's standing there, and I won't go into detail, but it was a disaster going on in there. And he gave me one look, and I knew immediately that he did not want me to be in there, because he was embarrassed, right? Like, oh, here's my son-in-law coming in and seeing me in this state, right? Of no dignity, right? And I mean, I was cool with it. I was totally prepared to, hey, I'll, I don't have any problem. My mom and I joke around. It's like, oh, if you want me to wipe your bum, I'll be glad to do it, and with her attitude is like, it was sort of an honor for, my mother took care of her in-laws and did everything from, wiping bums to everything. Right. And so, it's something that I think you're totally right. It's about dignity, and it's about, it's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it's something that definitely is necessary. And, super glad that you're highlighting that.
I'm curious
thank you
to
so
know,
much.
Maria, like how do you approach that with your clients, especially when you can tell that there's some reservation there, that they're embarrassed? What's your approach to help make people a little bit more comfortable in that space?
Yeah, absolutely. So meeting people where they're at, for sure. So when I'm working at the hospital, or even when I worked in nursing homes, I would just preface it and say, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions about what you do at home, what your home setup looks like. Is that okay? And so I go through my checklist of questions, and we come to the bathroom, which is my favorite room. And then, like I said, I just ask them straight up: are you having a hard time cleaning your bottom after you go to the bathroom? Are you having a hard time managing your clothing, pulling your pants up, putting them down, getting on and off the toilet? So just being very direct and using, I think there's a time and a place when you get to know somebody and you can use like funny phrases or words or kind of joke with them. But there are, I do want to be very direct and very like using just regular language to describe things. So there's no mistaking. And just being culturally sensitive too. Just this weekend, I worked with a patient who's Muslim. She's from Southeast Asia. So I know from Southeast Asia, a lot of those people use it's a pitcher, but it's called a loda. I don't know if you all are familiar. So they will use this pitcher loda while they're sitting on the toilet to run the water and clean their bottoms. And so I'm glad that I was able to tailor my questions so I could make it so. And her husband was answering for her in the room, but that's how that's done with that particular culture. And but they were very like nice and understanding because it was just very respectful. If people don't want to answer me, that's okay. I've been kicked out of the room before. I've had people who are just, they'll just say no and move on. And if I am working on toileting with somebody and, we get up and we go to the bathroom and I do see something that is of concern, I'll just say, oh, it looks like you're having a hard time reaching the toilet paper. Oh, I see you trying to pull down your pants. Do you want some help from me? I see you're having a hard time reaching your bottom. Do you want me to help and check to make sure you're thoroughly cleaned? So those kinds of things, and just being respectful and meeting them where they're at, and just saying like, here's what I see objectively, and I'm not putting any judgment on your abilities or what you're trying to do. I'm not shaming you, which is what, a lot of people, they already come with that. I'm so ashamed I can't clean myself up. I'm so ashamed that I smell and I can't figure out why. And, there's all this baggage that everyone is already carrying around. So I'm not going to be the one to come in and add on to that. And I think that's why I joke with my coworkers and stuff, because, like so many people like start crying or they open up with me and those kinds of things. But I just really think just giving people the space to have those emotions, if they are tearing up, like, oh, it looks like, this is something that really bothers you. And, just giving people the space to acknowledge like their feelings in that moment. And by acknowledging those feelings, then they're more open to different things that we can do to help them be able to clean themselves up more independently. So that's kind of how I go about it. I'm sure other people have other techniques they use, but it works for me.
I love that approach. No, I love that approach. It's a very people-oriented approach because you know that your job is centered around actually doing good in the lives of these people. It's not just let me get in, get out, like teach you some techniques and that's it. And I don't care about you as a person. It's very like respectful of, no, this is your dignity. This is your quality of life that we're talking about. And so let's make a personal connection here and just see each other as humans. And I think it's really easy, especially in the sanitation space, to sort of dehumanize each other, right? Because of that shame barrier. So what a wonderful approach. I know that you said that you got started a little bit more because you were caretaking your grandparents. And there's so many different areas as an occupational therapist that you could have said, I'm going to focus on this area.
Yes.
Why the bathroom? Why choose the bathroom space?
Oh my gosh, toileting is so important. I know we say death is the great equalizer, but really it's toileting because we all do it, I mean, some people do it every day, some people not, but we do it frequently enough where it's just like, oh my gosh, how could we avoid talking about this? And, as someone who's worked in nursing homes, I see so many people where like, oh my gosh, there's so much psychological anguish where if you're somebody who needs help going to the bathroom and you're having to wait for help and you don't know when it's coming and you need to go right now, but you can't even get out of bed or you can't even walk through the bathroom door and get on the toilet, man. I mean, just imagine that. And when I worked in nursing homes, I was like, oh my gosh, like, everyone, we got to work on getting on the toilet. We've got to do this because it helps your quality of life for people. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. If people, if first of all, just accidentally going to the bathroom when you have to go to the bathroom and you pee or poop on yourself. Oh my God, just that alone in itself. But also having that kind of wetness and moisture can break down your skin. It can lead to severe infections. I've worked with loads of people who end up in the ICU because they're septic, because they're not able to make it to the bathroom in time. And then they develop these severe infections, urinary tract infections, bladder infections. Just all these kinds of things. And if we're able to get people on the toilet and doing more for their own, they're so much happier. They're just so much, they're like, yes, I want to, heck yeah, I went to the bathroom on my own. I have so many clients who are like, I never thought I would be so happy going to the bathroom by myself. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's a glorious thing, right? So yeah,
yes,
I get so happy with people. Yeah. And, they get embarrassed, like if I'm working with people and, they like fart or, while they're pooping or whatever, and they say, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, why are you sorry? Let your chi flow. Like, this is what we do, right? This is just what we do as humans. So don't worry about it. But yeah, toileting, that's why it's so important. It's just seriously like just such a basic activity of daily living. And we all do it. We all feel so much better when we go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you get to relive the joys of, like when you have a 3-year-old that is potty trained for the first time, they're like, yes, I can do it by myself. I can, but now they're maybe 80, 90 years old and they're saying the same thing. Like, yes, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. High fives all around. Yes, we love it. And you just never know. I mean, and me personally too, I do share that I've had problems cleaning myself up after going to the bathroom when I was pregnant and my back was just like, you literally cannot move and twist because you have this huge belly. And then even last summer, in last July, there was this deer who like tried to sit on my lap through the windshield. So luckily I walked away with minor injuries, but I had back pain. And I was like, I'm so glad I have a bidet seat because I know I can clean myself up and not be in so much pain twisting to wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bathroom must-have that Darren and I chat a lot about when we're talking in this space. And it's surprising here in the U.S. how many households do not even know what a bidet is or have one installed or know that they could get like a really inexpensive one to put in. Is that something that you recommend to a lot of your clients? And like, I'm curious what other bathroom gadgets you really like love and encourage your clients to put in?
Oh, I am a huge bidet proponent. I love bidets. I love water. Water's the most effective way to clean your bottom thoroughly. It's so much better than wet wipes, toilet paper, because it doesn't irritate your skin. So you're not going to have or develop those skin infections. You're going to stay clear from urinary tract infections. So yes, I tell people that bidet all the way. So I have bidets in my home as well. And even with my daughter toilet training her, she uses just a perineal bottle that I actually got from the postnatal section at Target, but the water flows a little bit more gentle for her, not as intense as like the bidet seats that we have. So for a 2-year-old, she, after she poops, she uses it and cleans her butt. So yes, huge proponent for bidets. I also tell people, since the number 2 place for falls to happen at home is off of the toilet, that it sure couldn't hurt to have something next to your toilet, whether it's a grab bar. They're also, they're kind of like armrests for the toilet. They're called toilet safety frames that just sit on the stool of the toilet, and you can push up and lower yourself down on the toilet. Those are excellent too to have. So I love those. I recommend, if you do use toilet paper, keeping it within reach. Since we are bidet users in my home, we actually have our booty only towels. We just have, little washcloths or hand towels and just pop dry and we're good to go. One of my bidets does have an air dryer, but when you've got a young child, the time is limited and I can't sit there all day and let that thing dry my butt. So I got to go. I got to move quick. But yes, having those things in place are very helpful with toileting. And I love it all.
Oh man, I love it too. Well, Maria, we're out of time. Unfortunately, I feel like I could just keep chatting with you for a long time. So we'd love to have you back on the show again. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you for spending your morning with us. We're thankful to know you in this space, thankful for the good work that you do. I just have a final question for you, and that is, if there were one message that you could put out to our audience about the work that you do, or sort of your vision for the sanitation world, for your occupational therapy clients, what one message would you give to them?
Oh my goodness. Where do I go with this? There's so many things. I would probably say, you all are making it so that everybody can have a toilet. And what I push for and what I'm trying to do is trying to make it so every toilet is accessible so that people of all ages and abilities can clean themselves up on the toilet independently. So yes, that's pretty much my overarching mission of what I'm trying to do with toilet talk and hard time wiping.
And you're doing it. You're doing an amazing job. We're so thankful for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Maria. And we'll connect later. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you, Kelsey and Darren.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, so much energy in that lady.
Wow.
I know. I told you those reels that she makes, like they're so funny. And that's her own little, where she filmed our little interview today. That's her little studio. She created this mock bathroom just to make her YouTube channel content. And
no, I think that was a real bathroom.
No, I was chatting with her before you hopped on the call, and it's in her basement, and it's just it's plywood. I probably shouldn't reveal her secrets.
Now I'm a little disappointed.
I thought she was I
thought it was the real deal.
I thought she was
I was actually
Home
going
Depot.
I was actually going to get up and go move into my bathroom, and felt like we're on the same.
Sorry, Maria,
page, but
I outed your secret. I apologize.
Wow.
But it looks
amazing.
Real. It looks real.
It's so much hard work has gone into that.
I mean, that's a real toilet she was sitting on.
It's a real toilet. It's real. It's just that the walls are plywood.
Okay. It's just not connected to pipes. Maybe.
It's just not connected to pipes.
You could use it, but it wouldn't go anywhere.
It is probably something akin to Vladimir Putin's toilet. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I'm just. What kind of toilet do you think he has?
One that doesn't have pipes, so his excrement can't get anywhere.
I'm sorry. I forgot.
Stick with me, Quinn.
Wow, you're just moving at such a high pace in the
I
cow
know,
uniform.
I bet the CIA has spies that are in the sewer system of Moscow. They're like waiting for him to. Oh, he flushed. Okay, now
Oh, yeah, they're waiting to catch
get
it.
the information,
Oh, yeah.
and then they put it in their. And then they fly it to Washington and
Check it out.
I bet that's going on.
And
right
I'm sorry, I got us astray. I want to just keep chatting about Maria's interview because
now. Sorry.
she was
Go
so
ahead.
amazing.
We're back to Putin.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, sorry. That was my bad. No, but I just thought she like had some amazing tips, and I really appreciate her approach to speaking with her clients. You know, she talked a lot about this is a really sensitive subject for a lot of people. There's a lot of shame around it, but we want to just be really clear about, hey, I'm here to help. And if you don't feel like you need the help, that's cool. If you feel like you want the help, that's what I'm here for.
Wow.
And I just think we could take that approach a little bit more, you know, both if we were at the receiving end and if we were at the giving end.
So, yeah. The whole idea of wiping somebody else's bum, you know, that's a very intimate experience, right?
Yes.
And, but it's a necessity that a lot of people that are caregivers of elderly people or disabled people, they've got to deal with that every day. And maybe you're a professional like Maria, or maybe you're just, you know, the good son. Yeah. Like, would you wipe your dad's bum if he asked you to? Son, like, yeah.
Just today.
You did it today?
Yeah. Why not? But I feel like I'd want to use you could use like a little power washer.
Yeah, you could get a little, make it, you don't have to actually put some contact.
Maybe spray some like WD-40.
Does
on
make
there.
me wonder why
yeah.
nursing homes, it's not a standard thing that bidets are installed in every nursing home bathroom.
I think I would insist upon it. I mean, she's a big proponent of bidets. She's like, I mean, I think she had one of her little kids use it. Use a bidet and or they use like a hand. She was mentioned like a handheld one.
Yeah.
That's not as powerful, but
Squirt gun.
Kind
squirt
of
gun?
like a little squirt bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did also think the other thing that I had never thought about was that from her work in nursing homes was the fact that a lot of people whose mobility is restricted, who can't like get up and walk to the bathroom themselves or can't get up from the toilet, that they would need somebody to come in and check on them however often and say, do you need to use the restroom? And just how awful that would be to literally be confined in your own body and feel the need to use the bathroom, but not have the physical ability to do so. And that, I mean, I already thought she was a hero, but now I'm just thinking, wow, we need more occupational therapists in nursing homes. We need more nurses who are checking in on those who are mobility
the fun thing is she's talking about the issue openly, and that, and when people hear her, you know, I've watched her YouTube videos, and it makes it like, oh, this is something that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And here are a bunch of ways that you can make that experience, whether, again, all the equipment or whether it's a day or whatever, you know, that makes it so it's not as dramatic or not as
taboo to talk about, not as secret, not as shameful.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If I had to wipe my dad's bum, which I may have to do someday, I think a hose would be best, you know? Yeah. If all I had was just some toilet paper, you know, that would be, how long am I going to be here, you know, doing this? But I could just hose it down, pat him down. There you go, Dad. Let's go.
Yep.
That'd be better.
Yeah, it's easier. Way better way to live. I might use like a graham cracker to wipe down there.
That seems cruel.
That seems like a revengeful thing you need to talk to the therapist about.
Well, I'll call Maria.
Maria might have an answer.
She may have an answer for you. She's that kind of a human.
She's got I think 50 letters after her name. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they all stand for, Maria. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you.
We're going to link to her bio, and so you can like dive into all that. But occupational therapist is just like tip of the iceberg.
It's like
very
CIA,
educated.
KGB.
Maybe I think CIA was in there.
Yeah.
She's the one looking for Putin's poop.
Maybe she's undercover. This is all just a front to get the suit. They actually in this article talked about it being a poop case specifically. So the Putin poop case.
Do you think it's designer? Got a little Louis Vuitton poop case.
If I was Putin, man, I would go high end.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
gold
Put it in
buttons, gold plated.
I put it in
suitcase.
like a Gucci cooler. You know, like the suitcase ones with wheels on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be dope.
that'd be dope.
It has some
Cool.
blinking lights on it, sort of like Star Wars, or maybe it hovers.
Ooh,
Yeah, now we're
has
talking.
magnets on it. Just tug it along.
Well, you don't. Yeah, you wouldn't even have to touch it then. Then I might be okay with doing that job.
It's like the
Oh, wait,
thing.
now you're on board?
The other thing that Yoda Baby is in.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of it closes up.
Yeah.
Little egg
Little.
Yeah.
You open it up and there's a bunch of Putin poops.
with different dates on it. This happened here. This was
Specimen 1.
Olive
Yeah.
Garden.
Specimen 615.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mm.
wow. There's so much to think about with this.
it's a lot. And we're all
Yeah.
going to go
We
home.
could do a podcast just about
We
this.
we could do-
Putin
I think this podcast is mostly about this, but
Yeah.
Maria, we encourage you to check her out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will have Maria again on the show again.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
absolutely.
I think she wants to come back, and we would love to have her back.
So much enthusiasm and fun to see somebody else out there that's maybe more excited than we are.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited to team up with her. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to subscribe, and share the podcast with everybody that you like and maybe everybody that you don't like. I don't know. Just get us out there. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the ZuLoo Poodcast. Follow us on social media at our links in the show notes below. To learn more, visit our website, ZuLoo.org. If you liked the podcast, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. For even more ZuLoo fun, send us an email with your toilet stories to podcast@zuloo.com for a chance to be featured on the podcast. This episode of the ZuLoo Poodcast is sponsored by ZuLoo Inc., a benefit corporation dedicated to the goal of universal access to toilets, hygiene, clean water, and sanitation through the power of social enterprise. Learn more at zuloo.com.